Hello, I'm Roger Borden, author of the upcoming book on estate management, which will cover subjects such as wills, trusts, lasting powers of attorney, funeral plans, and everything else associated with this industry. I'm a member of the Society of Will Writers, and since 2004 I've written hundreds of wills. Today I want to talk about the importance of lasting powers of attorney and why you need them. Every day we take decisions about our lives, which is known as mental capacity. We can lose mental capacity for a variety of reasons, such as an accident, heart attack, stroke, substance or alcohol abuse, mental illness, dementia, or even a learning disability. These are things which can strike any of us at any time, young and old alike. As soon as we lose mental capacity, we need a lasting power of attorney, and if we don't have one, we can be in serious trouble. As soon as we lose mental capacity, we are deemed vulnerable, and the Court of Protection will step in immediately to protect us. The first thing they do is to notify all financial institutions to freeze our bank accounts. That's every single one in our own name, and those we share jointly with others. So if you're single, sharing a joint account with your spouse, which is used to pay your day-to-day bills, or if you are the main breadwinner of the family, dealing with all the finances, the situation becomes serious. Just think about it for a moment, about what it would mean to you or your family if you had no access to your money. You wouldn't be able to pay your mortgage, putting your home at risk. Your life policies would be cancelled, and if they were set up to pay your mortgage, or your potential inheritance tax liability, you're in a real mess. I'm sure you can imagine the extra stress this would be causing to your family, who are already seriously worried about you, and I'm sure you can understand what is at stake in such a situation. Without a lasting power of attorney, your wife, civil partner, or family members have no legal right to look after your affairs, even if you've been together for 25 years or more. Without a lasting power of attorney, they are helpless, and everything grinds to a halt. The only people who can take control of your affairs when you lose mental capacity are those you have named in your registered lasting power of attorney. If there's no lasting power of attorney in place, the only way someone can legally look after your affairs is to apply to the Court of Protection for a deputyship. This puts you in a position when you can then look after that person who's lost mental capacity. But first you have to agree the series of responsibilities you can undertake with the Court of Protection. Applying for a deputyship is hideously expensive, very time-consuming, frustrating and controlling. It can take well over 9 months to be approved, and all the time the bills keep mounting. It can cost several thousands of pounds initially, and then you'll be paying annual fees indefinitely. Most likely, you'll need to submit a medical report on that vulnerable person and pay court fees to agree the responsibilities you're allowed to undertake. There are fees payable to set up a financial bond and annual supervision fees of several £100s. Worst of all, if you need to do something outside the agreed responsibilities, you'll have to go cap in hand to the Court of Protection for their agreement to it and pay them for the privilege. There are two lasting powers of attorney, one covering property and finance and the other for health and welfare. We've seen how a person's finances are frozen without a power of attorney, but it is also needed for all the person's financial affairs, such as collecting pension payments, paying everyday bills, drawing down equity under an equity release plan, and where needed, to sell a home. The second power of attorney covers health and welfare, dealing with such things as your daily routine, your medical care, including life-sustaining treatment, decisions on when you need to go into a care home and where it should be located, and importantly, which type of care home you go into. Without a power of attorney, all these decisions are taken by social services. It means you will go into a home of their choice where space is available, and not necessarily anywhere near your family and loved ones. You'll also have no right to demand for a change to a better care home, regardless of how much money there is to pay for it. Did you know there are an estimated 2 million people in the UK unable to make decisions for themselves because of a disability, mental illness, brain injury or dementia? Every 5 seconds, while Americans consume 1,750 slices of pizza, setting themselves up for a future heart attack, one person is diagnosed with dementia. Believe me, if you're ever in need of a power of attorney and haven't written one, you'll certainly wish you had. For a couple of £100 and less than a couple of hours of your time, you can get your LPAs written and have complete peace of mind and not run into the risks I've outlined earlier. Without a power of attorney, you're in the straitjacket imposed by the Court of Protection, only able to carry out responsibilities agreed with them. For anything else, you'll need to go cap in hand to them to get their permission for you to act, and you'll be paying for their time in making such an assessment, and that really will make you feel you cannot be trusted. Each year you will need to submit a detailed statement to them to explain how their finances have been handled, the bills you've paid and the money you've received. It is painful for us to imagine ever being in a position where we don't have complete control of our own affairs. But the brutal reality is disaster can strike any of us at any time, regardless of age, and it's only then we will regret not having our powers of attorney in place. As a deputy, working with the Court of Protection for many years, when the person you've been taking care of for all that time finally passes away, you will without doubt be distressed and grieving. But rest assured you'll also breathe a sigh of relief to get your life back and be released from the shackles of the Court of Protection. My name is Roger Borden from City and Country Financial Services. I'm a member of the Society of Will Writers and have written hundreds of wills since 2004. Every will I write is as individual as you are, but let me tell you, it's never too early to write your will, but it can be too late, as you cannot write your will from the grave. So why not contact me and see how I can help you? You can get hold of me on my mobile 07958 221460, or if you prefer, email me at roger.borden@ccfs.london, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.